Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year, guys, and praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. I just feel like praising God continuously. This year started with a bang for me. I just wanted to share with you guys what God did for me. It's a testimony, it's a miracle. It's just that I'm alive today is just a huge miracle, and I'm so grateful for it. It was the 10th of January, almost a week ago. I went to work, and it was just for a couple of hours. It was like a night shift, and I was on my way back from work, and I finished at 1:30, and so yeah, I was driving back, and it was very icy when I left work, so I had to like scrape my car, the ice off my car and all of that. But I didn't think the roads were that bad, you know. I just thought the first road I took was very, clear. There was no ice on the road or anything like that, no black ice. So I just was, cruising. And then I got to the next road I was going to take was a country road. And if you live in the UK, you know, like the country roads are usually like this, very bendy, very twisted and all of that. So you have to be really, really super careful when you're driving on them, and especially when it's icy. I had no idea there was black ice on the road. Because the first road I took was very smooth, like it was wet, like it had rained, not frozen or anything like that. So, and that road was a 40. I wasn't doing up to a 40, but yeah, I got to this bend, and I bend, like it was like the right bend, and I had gone that way. Now I was supposed to come back this way, and the problem started. My car couldn't come back. It was going, the signal the car got was just keep going, the car had a mind of its own immediately. And I started screaming. I was screaming, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. That's the only thing I could say. I was like, life was just flashing in front of me. I was like, is this it? Like, no, it's not possible. Like, so I started maneuvering, like trying to control the car. It wasn't happening. So I swerved and swerved and swerved, and eventually the car flew and just landed somewhere. I didn't know where I'd landed. It was in the middle of the night. It was the dead of the night. This was just before 3 a.m. So nobody was on the road with me. Nobody saw me swerving. I just swerved and landed by myself. So I was in this, large farm. If you're in the UK, you know what I mean. This large farm, no houses in sight, just me by myself. Nobody saw anything happen to me. So, oh my goodness, speaking about it is just as surreal. If that was my day to go, nobody would have seen me until the morning, but God preserved my life. Like, this car landed, and it landed in such a way that it looked like I had properly parallel parked my car. I was like, I'd broken through a very a hedge. It was like a tree that's dried up, but very thick tree. I broke down this tree and then drove over it and pushed it under my car, and then just landed. And I was there in the farm. I'm like, but my first thought, run out of this car, open this car immediately and just run out of it, because you hear of stories of cars having accidents and then just exploding. So it's like, you're alive, so just run out of the car. So I opened the car, thankfully opened the door open, it wasn't jammed, and I ran out. So I looked and looked, and there was no house around me, but I could see, like, it was about like 2 miles away from me, from where my accident had happened, where my car had landed. I could see like a glimpse of a car, in front of me. So I was like, you know what, let me try. At this time I was just frantic. I didn't know I was calm for some reason. I was calm, but I didn't know what, I wasn't processing what has just happened. For me, I knew I knew I'd been in an accident. There was nothing, first of all, there was nothing wrong with me. I had no bodily injuries or anything like that. It was just in fact, the shock at that point, I didn't even set in at that time. It was just, I just needed to speak to somebody. I just needed to see a human being like myself, because I was by myself there. So I saw this car and I was like, you know what, if there's a car, there has to be somebody there. So I didn't even see houses. I just saw the car from a distance and I was like, okay, let's walk down there. And I walked down, and this is, mind you, is freezing conditions. Okay, it was really cold this day. And of all days not to get my phone, take my phone to work, was this day. My husband, when I was leaving the house, was like, take your phone. I'm that person that my husband was like, take your phone. I was like, nah, it's just 7 hours, I'll be back before you know it. I don't need the phone. And I didn't really take a very thick jacket. It was just a fleecy jacket I took, just something warm. It was thick enough, you know, to just wrap up, was not enough to be outside, you know, standing outside for a long time in. So that's all I had. And my shoe, when I came out of the car, my leg went deep into a very muddy whatever mess. So my leg was soaked in mud, in water and everything. So it was, you know how your legs get cold and you begin to feel cold from, you know, your legs and all of that. So of all days not to take my phone this day, I was like, I'll be back soon, I don't need my phone. So I didn't go with my phone to work. So obviously I didn't have my phone to call my husband to say this is what has happened, you know. And so I saw this car and I walked down to this car and I saw houses, there were farmhouses there, and I started knocking on doors. Mind you, it's just before 3 a.m. Who would be opening their doors? I'll be scared to go to open mine as well. But yeah, I knocked on a few doors and nobody was answering. And then the final door I knocked on, I had dogs barking. And mind you, I'm not a dog person, I'm scared of animals, okay? But this night I was like, listen, if these dogs open this door for me, I'm rushing in, like okay. So the dogs barked and barked and barked and nobody came through. So at this time I was beginning to feel really feverish, really cold. So I was like, you know what, there's nothing wrong with the car, it seems okay inside, let me just go inside, sit in the car, and then just, you know, heat up myself until the morning. If, you know, just stay warm in the car until it's daylight, where I can, you know, people can trust to open their doors. And so I went back, I walked back the long distance again back to the car and waited in there. I was about going to sit in the car and just wait. I saw somebody flashing a torchlight from the distance from where I had just been and back. So somebody was flashing, and then I looked up, it was someone. I was like, oh, I was like, help, help, help. You know. And I had to walk. The person wasn't coming to me, they wanted me to come to them. So I was like, fair enough. So I walked back again to this person, and then when I got there, it was a man. And he just rushed me, grabbed me. He knew I'd been in an accident, and he was like, are you hurt? Are you okay? Are you sure you're not okay? Are you sure you're okay? Did you need it? Was a white man. Very good. Oh my goodness. Very good man, okay? This man held me and took me into his house. And just as we're getting into his house, his wife was just at the door there. Immediately she saw me, she grabbed me, she hugged me so tightly, because she knew, like, they knew I'd been in an accident. You know, they hadn't seen the car, but, you know, they said that area is just notorious for accidents because it's a very, very bendy road, okay, very bendy. And, you know, so they said, you know, she grabbed me. If I knew, she had got one thick blanket wrapped around me. It was at this time I started crying, because I was like, I don't even know these people, and they've just taken care of me like they know me from Adam. They don't know me from anywhere. She, you know, took my shoes off, gave me a thick pair of socks, and then was making tea for me. I was like, I don't want tea. She's like, no, you need tea, you need to heat up your system because you're really cold, you're shivering, you know. And so he got their phone and I started calling my husband, and then eventually he answered, told him what had happened, you know. And he was like, oh my goodness, you know, all the works. And also we called the police came over, had a look at the car. They had to do the breathalyzer thing just to make sure there was no alcohol in my system if the accident was triggered by me drinking. And I was like, I don't drink, and like, it's just a normal routine, you know, check they need to do if there's been an accident. So they did that and it came out 0. I was like, yeah, well, sorry we had to do that, but yeah, it's normal procedure. But that's not my problem. My thing is, I've just been in a major accident, kind of large, you know, and I'm just sitting here unhurt. Nothing is wrong with me, no bones broken, no scratch, you know. And mind you, I've been driving for a couple of years now, and number of years now, never had an accident before, never ever had an accident before. So this was just this was just, honestly, this, if I show you guys my car, I don't start putting cars up here and all of that, but my car was just a write-off. Okay, the front bumper was all gone. Like, I plunged like that into a very muddy, pushed down a tree, and how that car landed standing and not somersaulted or something is just, honestly, God has been faithful. Okay, the devil would rather have me sit here and, you know, in fact not be here. What am I talking about? Sit here and not be here, because it could have been worse. It could have been a worse situation. Okay, but that car landed, but it landed in a, you know, into very muddy area, and so the whole front bumper, because he had pushed down a tree, for crying out loud, the car pushed down a tree, and the tree was under the car, the log from the tree was under the car, and then I didn't know what was happening underneath, whether the car was damaged at the bottom. I didn't know what was happening, but I knew it was bad. The back of the car looked okay, but the front was just gone. Okay, and so these people helped me, and they took me home. They offered to take me home. They were going to drop me off because my husband was at home. If he had to come and get me, it means he has to wake the kids up and then put them in the car and then come get me. So they're like, no, let's not put the kids through that. The wife was like, I will drop you off. And then the husband said, I'll come with you since I'm already awake. I'll just come with you guys. So this good Samaritans. And you know, before this accident happened, when this accident happened, when I was walking towards this and walking towards the car, I said to myself, when I saw the houses, I was like, Lord, please, I need a loving person to answer to me again. I don't need any grumpy person. I know it's the dead of the night, I shouldn't be disturbing anybody, but I need somebody who is caring, who has a heart for good, to open this door, you know, to answer to me. Okay, so, and that's what happened. Amazing couple, amazing. The world needs people like this, like in their thousands, and I'm sure there are people like that all over the world. You know, there's so much evil now that you kind of lose hope in humanity, but those people helped me out. Okay, I help people, I do a lot for people. I'm like, you know what, somebody has to stick for me when I need help. Okay, somebody has to stick up for me when I need help, and God came through, sent these people my way, and they were just amazing. And yeah, they helped me. They drove me all the way home that day, because I just left work. It was like 7 minutes away from work, and I still had like, you know, 30 minutes drive to go. So I was like, it's quite a distance for you to take me. Just so my husband would come get me. I'm like, no, don't stress the kids, I know, we'll take you, I know. So, you know, they dropped me off at home, and then the next the morning, when it was morning, they had we had to send for the car to be towed. A car couldn't be, you know how you go to tow a car, you just put the harness and just pull out. No, this was not a pulling out situation. The car had to be like lifted off, because you don't just get into this field, okay, you have to go through a road. I didn't go through a road. I practically made a road from the hedge into the field. So there was no way getting this car, and it's a high hedge that now lands on the land that is kind of flat. So the hedge is high, the road is high up there, and my car is down, down there. So they had to lift the car up, you know. And this, I got a call from the people saying the lady that helped me, and my husband, they were saying that the lifting company had a lot of problem getting my car out of where it was, because it was really, they found it really stressful, you know, getting the car from where it was. And then the people lifting the car called my husband, like, you sure your wife came out of this and she's fine, you know, because it was really bad, you know. So that night I was scheduled to go to work again, and you know, at this time I still had not, I thought I could go to work. I did not realize what I'd just been in and out of, you know. I went to work, and it just dawned on me that I couldn't be there. I was just bawling the whole time, like just crying and thinking of what had just happened, how bad the accident was. And 2 hours into work, I went to my boss and I was like, listen, you guys have to let me go. I'm not even supposed to be here. I don't know why I came in today, but my mind didn't go that way to like seek for permission. I was like, you know, I can't be here. I've just been in a very bad motor accident. How I'm even alive is a miracle. You have to let me go. And all the time I was talking, I was just bawling, crying, and thinking of the whole thing. I think it's the shock of it all, the trauma. So there was no hurt. I was not hurting anyway, but within, I was hurt inside. Like within me, there was a lot going on, you know. So you're like, yeah, I will just give you time off and then you go. And yeah, so I've been home since the accident happened, and it's been, yeah, it's been relieving. I mean, Julia, stop please, I'm making a video, I'm almost done. So yeah, I've been home since the accident, just trying to relieve the shock, and I've been praying lots as well for God to help me, you know, heal within, and not, because every time I thought of what happened, there's that shock, you know, like when when it just happened when I was sleeping. Anytime I try to fall asleep, as I'm falling asleep, I just see my car, the picture of my car swerving, the first swerve, and I'm like, you know, that shock, and I'm like, you know, even till now it still happens, but you know, it's not as bad as it was. So it's a gradual process of healing. It won't happen in a week, because I've never seen myself in something like that before. So yeah, just taking out time to heal properly, and yeah, and just allow God to do the work within, because the work is within, it's not outside. Outside I'm very fine. Nobody will even think I was in that kind of an accident, okay? And there's been this apprehension to go back to driving, because I'm like, I don't want a car, I don't want to touch a car, I don't want to go in a car, like I don't want to be driven, I just want to walk. You know, if you've been in an accident, I'm sure that's what happens. You know, you just want to stay away from, you know, driving or anything like that, just be in a car or blah 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 like that. I've been in an accident before, but not me driving. You know, back in Nigeria, I was being driven in a bus, and the bus just somersaulted, blah blah blah, and after that I knew what traumatic experiences I had then. So this is just like a repeat of that. It's just when this happened, it reminded me of that one many years ago. So yeah, I just trying to heal again, and I know that God is doing something within me, is helping me relieve that, okay? Yeah, that's my testimony. My car, eventually they said it can be fixed, so it's being fixed just now, but I'm not looking forward to seeing it. I just want to be left alone, like from a car and all of that. But yeah, God has been merciful. The devil will have me crying today, the devil will have me dead, in fact, but God is on the throne. God is still in the business of doing miracles, and that's why I'm alive today. I'm a miracle.
Mommy, where's your phone?
I'm using it, Julia, I'm coming. I'm a miracle, I'm a testimony, I'm a living testimony. I am so grateful, I am so thankful for life. So thankful. Life is so fragile, and we don't have promise of tomorrow. What will happen tomorrow, we have no idea of, okay? That's why you have to live your life to be pleasing to God, okay? Live your life to please God. Just, you know, make plans, okay? Make plans. It's good to plan for tomorrow, but in the midst of it, make sure you're asking for God's will to be done as well, okay? Let God's will be done, because you can plan from here to tomorrow, and it says in one of the scripture that says, oh, you foolish man, the man was saying, oh, tomorrow I'll do this, I'll do that, and say, oh, you foolish man, you have no promise of what will happen tomorrow. You don't know what will happen. Your life will be demanded of you like that. And scripture just jumps out to me, and I'm like, Lord, thank you for preserving my life, and if God willing, I have so plans for tomorrow. God willing, not my will be done, but God's will. We don't know our time, we don't know when our time will be up, okay? That wasn't my time wasn't up then, because if it was, that accident was so bad that it should have been, but it wasn't my time. But God preserved my soul, and I am so super grateful for it. There's so much to be done, there's so much He's placed in me to do, so many lives to be touched and affected, and knowing your purpose and functioning in the purpose for which you have been created is very essential. So yeah, living to fulfill purpose, living to please God, to do all that He has in store for me, for you. Let's live our lives to please God, okay? That's what I thought to share my testimony today. And yeah, if you're like me, even in an accident, let's encourage ourselves in the Lord. Allow God to heal you. Allow God to, you know, do what only He can do within you. And yeah, I wish you quick recovery, like myself, and back to being we. Yeah, 2020, new decade, God willing. it'll be a beautiful year for us, and yeah, I look forward to doing more videos and yeah, sharing with you guys my experiences. And until then, stay blessed guys, bye.